What will be your story of victory long after COVID-19 is gone? What is the story of victory? What story of victory are you going to tell? Or are you going to be the one who's going to tell the story of how hard it was? You know, that's an easy story to tell, by the way. The story of how tough and how bad and is so easy. It's very easy. The story of victory is the one that sells. And I'm saying to you, craft the story of victory now, before the train leaves. We don't want to lose the COVID moment. So think about what are the 3 things that you have done that you would never have done if we did not have the lockdown. What are the 3 things that you have done? If you haven't, then start now. There's an opportunity in every crisis. There's an opportunity in every crisis. Opportunities are not only for individuals, they are also for institutions. So for those of us who are leading institutions, there are opportunities. And even for the institution that I'm leading, I've said there are 3 things that we have to do. So we were having a blended learning strategy. We were just talking about it before the lockdown started. When the lockdown started, we went completely online. We fast-tracked everything that we thought will take whatever many years because we are a face-to-face university. We've been struggling with how do we make sure that all our students can have international experience, even poor students who are not able to travel elsewhere in the world, because we want our students to graduate not only with the scientific and technical skills, but also with the ability to hold their own anywhere in the world, and interacting with people who don't look like you, don't smell or think like you is very important as you're a student. And so the lockdown, COVID-19, forced us to fast-track the development of our new strategy for internationalizing our student experience. So even if you're running an institution, it's important to think about what are the things that any crisis or any change or sudden change does to what you do, what opportunity it creates. But what are the opportunities when it comes to leadership? I argue that when it comes to leadership, I mean, it's interesting when you're in a leadership position, it's not as if you know what crisis is going to come, what change is going to come, whether the fourth industrial revolution was going to throw. You come into leadership and these things happen. And I often say there are people who are excellent leaders in peace times when there is no crisis and they can just keep the things afloat. But if you're an excellent leader in times of peace, it doesn't necessarily mean you'll be an excellent leader in times of crisis or in times of turmoil or pandemic, where you have to make different big decisions quickly, take people with you, and move on, and as much as you save the organization or the institution. And I argue that these are times for transformational leadership. And I'm not talking transformational as in the sense of employment equity or something like that. But the challenges for this leadership that I believe I call transformational leadership, the challenges are, for now, what skills and mindset do we as leaders need to inspire, to motivate, and retain the millennials or Generation C as interested and committed young people, valued employees, and law-abiding citizens? I think this is a challenge for every leader, whether it's a church or an organization. You want to keep Generation C, the millennials who come with different value system and attitude, you want to keep them committed, focused, interested, and law-abiding as well. The second challenge is how can we adapt our strategies as leadership to a world where those whom we lead put their loyalty first to social responsibility ahead of profit. So you may be running a company and you know, people don't like this, but people who run companies, they need to make money. Otherwise, nobody's going to get a salary. It's not a sin to make money. Make money so that people can, But how do you do that with workforce that puts their loyalty first to social responsibility, which doesn't make money, but takes care of people. They do that before profit. And I think that's the big challenge of leadership. And thirdly, how equipped are we, those of us in leadership positions, to understand the challenges of this alien new world? And as I said, for universities, I mean, university leadership was exposed, in my view, between 2015 and 2018, that many of us in university spaces, in university leadership, it was as if people were taken by surprise, like, oh, do these students think this way? We are activists of 1980s. What are they doing? They must do the activism the way we did it. No, they can't. The world has changed. This is not 1980. You were an activist in 1980. This is 2018, 2017, 2016. The students were using different tactics. They were engaging differently. They were actually using the same education that we give them at university to critique what we're doing, to question what we're doing. And I remember sitting in a room one day saying, guys, my colleagues, aren't you amazed? We should be proud of ourselves. Just look at how they are drawing on the theories that they got from philosophy. And the class, all these lectures that they're doing, when they came here, they couldn't do this. And now they're using that to call us to wake up. And so the challenge of any leadership, I think, is how equipped are we to understand the challenges of this rapidly changing world? Even in the time of COVID, it required new skills.